أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشية عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ذريع إلا جسم ولا جبن من وجوه يومئذ ناعمة صدق الله العلي العظيم. 10th class, I am talking to you and lecture number 5 for 10th class. And today important things, important conversations, because you will be able to know how smoking is injurious, because a lot of advertisement you are watching in the media, a lot of data you are studying from the books that smoking is damaging your respiratory system. I will prove you by evidence that smoking is not injurious for you only, it is injurious for all persons who are surrounding smokers. So first of all, I am verifying you, we all are smokers. We all are smokers. Now you are astonished why we are all are smokers. We are passive smokers. We are passive smokers. There are two types of smokers. One is active smoker, one is a passive smoker. So in indirect way, we all are smokers. Indirect way, we all are smokers. How I can explain you? Look here. The smoker who is smoking, that is called active smoker, and the smoker who is standing closer to active smoker, that is the passive smoker. So normally in our daily life we are always talking with the smokers, and we are going the smoke we are receiving. So in that way we are smokers. So how we can protect ourselves? We can protect that we should not stand with the active smoker, and we should convince active smoker that you are damaging us as well. If you will see this slide, and you will be able to know that how the smoker is injurious, how much extent smoker is injurious. The important thing, look at this chemicals one smoker in the smoke consists of 4,000 chemicals, and 50 are carcinogenic. 50 are carcinogenic. What is the carcinogenic? I will tell you. Carcinogenic means cancer producing chemicals. They are called carcinogenic. When they produce the cancer, it means uncontrolled cell division. You are studying mitosis, it means it will start in trachea, and one tumor will come, and tumor, you know, you was watching the tumor. Initial tumor was benign tumor. Initial tumor was benign tumor, and benign tumor was not injurious much because that is not spreading, but benign tumor change to the malignant tumor, which is dangerous, and you know by metastasis it can spread from your trachea to your lungs, alveoli cell, and they will stop the supply of oxygen to the lungs, and they will cause the cancer. So these are the chemicals, these are the carcinogenic chemicals. They produce the cancer. Uncontrolled cell division take place, the tumor will form, that is a benign tumor, malignant tumor. 4,000 chemicals means, dear students, these are so much to damage our body, and they are not damaging our respiratory system. I will also prove they are damaging our circulatory system, they are damaging our excretory system, they are damaging our organs. Two chemicals which is proven mathematically, experimentally, that they are carcinogenic. I am naming them. I will highlight you in a page as well. That is a nicotine and the tar. Nicotine and the tar, these are the two chemicals which are carcinogenic, and they are present in the smoke. So the point I raised today, we all are smokers in the sense that we are passive smokers, and we are standing closer to active smoker. Now question is, sir, how we can prevent ourselves? Yes, we have to counsel, we have to give reasons with proven evidence that these chemicals, especially you two chemicals I named you, nicotine and tar, and that is damaging. Now come back to another slide, active and the passive smoking, and that is the slide is showing you. We come in this category. We come in this category. We are the passive smoker, because we are inhaling that smoke consisting of 5,000 chemicals which is going in our respiratory system. Of course our respiratory system, defensive system is there, immunity system is there, which is protecting us against the smoke, but that's why we are healthy. But fortunately we have defense system, first line of defense, second line of defense. I will teach you in senior classes how much defense system you have. Your security system is there. Due to that security system we are saved. Because your question may be there, sir, if we are passive smoker, why we are not ill? But we are not ill because we have defensive system. First line of defense over skin, second line of defense mucociliated epithelial layer, third type of the defense lymphocytes B, lymphocytes T, the another type of defense cytokines, another type of defense antibodies, and these are antibodies which are present in respiratory system IgE. These antibodies protect us from the chemicals, they protect us from the pollen grains, they protect us from allergens, and this is enough security system to protect us from these chemicals. But sometime when we become little old, and also immunity system is not going to respond all the time, and you know insulin was digesting the glucose in all our body, and sometime insulin refused. Insulin say, why I am going to digest glucose? Because you are taking too much glucose. When you will take you were studying insulin glucagon in 9th class, when you are taking too much glucose, insulin say, our body become insulin resistant, because our body will not obey insulin, and glucose levels will increase, and glucose level will increase. That will cause the diabetic, and we can become the diabetic by that way. So our immunity system, no doubt about this, our immunity system is there. Antibodies are there, antigens are there, lymphocytes B are there, lymphocytes T are there, the ciliated, this is the mucociliated epithelial layer in the nose, the mucociliated epithelial layer in the trachea. They are protecting us from all dust particles, from the chemicals. But how much they will work? The cilia may damage by these chemicals. This is not the only chemical present in the atmosphere. So active and passive, this is the point I want. Risk factor in infections. If anybody is smoker, even passive smoker, so I am not involving that that only a smoker will be affected. So overall community may affect, because risk factor for infection is that when your immunity system is fighting against those chemicals, similarly immunity system will refuse you to fight against the bacteria. When bacteria will come and your immunity systems, that lymphocyte B and T helper cells you will study in first year, that is going to respond bacteria, and that is a emergency system started, and that will identify the bacteria, antigen presenting cell. They will refuse to work against bacteria, because they will say, we are so much working against the chemicals, we are so much working against the pollutants, we are so much working against the chemicals of smoke, so why we work against bacteria? So they may refuse you to work against the bacteria. That's why risk factor for infections mean that when your immunity system becomes feeble, weak, then the bacteria will easily attack to our body. And infections I explained in other sessions also, infection is just attack of bacteria, not the virus. We'll go back to another information which I want to give you. Hemoglobin will be abnormal. You can see the slide. Hemoglobin will be abnormal. Hemoglobin consists of the 4 chains, 2 alpha chain, 2 beta chain, and hemoglobin abnormal mean oxyhemoglobin will not be formed. Oxyhemoglobin will not be formed. Oxygen will not be transported in the blood. Oxygen will not be transported in the blood. It will not goes into the tissues, and oxygen will not be available in the mitochondria. Oxygen not available in mitochondria, it will not react with glucose. Respiration reaction will not take place. Energy will not be released. Energy will not be stored in the form of the ATP. When we have no energy, we are no more alive. So this is the hemoglobin, important protein pigment. This is a red colored pigment found in our body. And then abnormal hemoglobin. Do you remember in the sickle cell hemoglobin? Sometime I have talked sickle cell hemoglobin. Do you remember? I may tell you the sickle cell hemoglobin, when hemoglobin is abnormality is there and hemoglobin is unable to transfer the oxygen, that is cancer. That is a type of anemia, because when oxygen is not going to be transferred by the blood to the tissues, it means that there is no storage house of oxygen. It means that you are going to stop the respiration, you are going to stop the cellular respiration, the respiration take place inside the cell. So this is information. Now these 3 slides is showing active passive smoker. Now I come back to the main reasons that I am discussing these things. Bad effects of smoking, passive smoking. Now it is written in your book as well. 4,000 chemicals and 50 are carcinogenic. 2 I named. Look, powerful carcinogenic is a nicotine. Powerful mean it can cause enough tumor in the trachea that it can stop the transfer of oxygen to the tissues. When it will stop the transfer of oxygen, so the same thing will happen, because did you note that that cartilage plates are present in trachea, and nature gave you a plates in tube. Reason is that your trachea remain open all the time. Do you think sometime in esophagus there is no trachea, there is no cartilage plates? In the bronchus cartilage are present, in the trachea cartilage is present, in esophagus there is no cartilage, because you are not eating all the time. You are eating 3 times only, and food can be stored in the form of glycogen in the liver. So this is the evidence there is no storage of oxygen. That's why nature gave importance to the trachea, bronchus, even bronchioles, so that stoppage of oxygen to the lungs will damage the body, and the body will not be able to survive in emergency situation. Therefore, if respiratory system is more sensitive system, I will also tell you, sometime lobes of liver are being removed by surgically by the surgeon when alveoli cell damaged, and pneumotectomy, that is called as, that I will teach you in the senior classes. But I will tell you one thing, that 3 lobes of the lungs present at right side, 2 lobes of the lungs present at the left side, due to the heart. The space is less. Some lobes are being removed due to smoking. Surface area will decrease, and when surface area will decrease, definitely, and enough inhalation will not take place, and like emphysema, histoplasmosis, the inhalation will be difficult, short of breath will be there, and asthma type symptom may also occur. So nicotine and tar, another one I am telling, that is not written here. So 50 known carcinogenic, this is important, because known. The investigation has been told that the 50 chemicals out of 4,000 they are producing the cancer. I will tell you now the reasoning that cancer, what is the cancer basically. Your each cell consists of DNA. And DNA has a specific messaging due to specific sequence of the nucleotide. And when you are healthy, we are healthy, reason is that our specific sequence of the nucleotide is very good, and that is positive, and that is growing cell, and they are not causing any type of disease, because this sequence of nucleotide are translated into sequence of amino acid. You are lucky you have genetics chapter in the syllabus, in which you will be able to understand how DNA give the message to our body by making protein. So sequence of nucleotide, each individual is different from the others due to sequence of the nucleotide of the DNA, and this sequence of nucleotide will be copied into sequence of amino acid in a protein. So if each DNA is different, each protein molecule is different. If each DNA is different, each protein molecule is different. When protein molecule is different, the messaging is different. We are healthy, our protein molecule has carrying the positive messages in our body. So when abnormality in the sequence of the nucleotide will take place, mean this sequence of nucleotide will change. The change in the sequence of the nucleotide in the DNA is called mutation. The term I told. I will write this in the genetics. I did not write about the definition of the mutation. I'm just giving you extra information for the upcoming sessions. Change in the sequence of the nucleotide is called as a mutation. And when mutation take place, it means the sequence of nucleotide, which is a normal, has been changed. It will not translate into a sequence of amino acid which is normal. Abnormal sequence of amino acid may take place. Abnormal protein may take place. Abnormal protein may start uncontrolled. I want your attention now, because I am giving you a key point of today's session. Abnormal protein may cause uncontrolled cell division. Uncontrolled, you cannot control. You are eating, and technically your body will think you are growing, but you are not growing, because inside the trachea, if small tumor is formed and your body thinks this is a growth, this is a dangerous for you, this is a negative mutation, because these chemicals have changed the DNA sequence, the sequence of nucleotide, adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, the 4 nucleotides. You will study also DNA in upcoming sessions. These specific sequence of nucleotide will change. Abnormal sequence of nucleotide will come. These abnormal sequence of nucleotide will cause the abnormal sequence of amino acid. Abnormal sequence of amino acid will change the protein molecules, and protein molecules will change. They will damage your body and they will damage your tissues, because they will cause uncontrolled cell division, mitosis. Technically, mitosis is very easy to understand, but symptoms wise it is much dangerous, because when uncontrolled cell division take place, it will cause a tumor. You know the name of the tumor, benign tumor, BENIGN, and benign tumor will take place. When benign tumor will take place, this benign tumor will change into malignant tumor. Malignant tumor, you know that tumor can spread from the one place to another, because it will carry. This is a true cancer. When cancer is being spread from one, it is not localized. It is not localized. Localized means it is not static. Just like you were studying thrombus in the circulatory system, and you know when thrombus was present in artery, in coronary artery, it was not much dangerous. When it became the dangerous? When it became the dangerous? It became dangerous when it changed from one place to another, and it became embolus, EMBOLUS. So one more point which is important, students, here I will tell you, this is more dangerous even than cancer, because cancer will give you little time, but carbon monoxide will not give little time. Are you watching carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide will combine with hemoglobin at the site where oxygen is attached, and that is a negative message. That is the abnormal hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has to attach with oxygen to form the oxyhemoglobin. When oxygen will not be able to attach with the hemoglobin, carbon monoxide will be able to attach carboxyhemoglobin, and that will stop the transport of the oxygen and transport of the carbon monoxide is a rating number 1 poison. You know that? Because it is just a binding site of carbon monoxide is that where oxygen has to attach, here where the carbon monoxide is being attached. So that will not able to transport, that will not allow to transport of oxygen. Another point is that when the transport of the oxygen, transport of the carbon dioxide, also little of it take place by the hemoglobin. So it will stop the transfer of carbon dioxide as well. So I think if these are much risk factors for not for respiratory system, for circulatory system as well. And also, if all diseases we have discussed primary ammonia, the secondary ammonia, the primary pneumonia, the secondary pneumonia, mean double pneumonia, in which the both lungs were affected. So they all will be the risk factors if you are smoker. Even we are the passive smoker, so we need to prevent ourselves from these chemicals like nicotine, tar. And one more point, hemoglobin consists of 2 alpha chain, 2 beta chain. Hemoglobin is a protein. Now question arises, sir, why the hemoglobin is unable to attach with oxygen and carbon monoxide, which is a poison, is being attached with the hemoglobin? Reason, because sequence of amino acid in the hemoglobin change. Once again the question, sir, sequence of hemoglobin change. Why the sequence of amino acid in the hemoglobin change? Because sequence of nucleotide in the DNA change. Sir, why the sequence of the nucleotide in the DNA change? Due to those chemicals, because those are carcinogenic. They can change the sequence of the nucleotide of the DNA. That is called as a mutation. The sudden change in genetic material. Genetic material is a DNA. This will cause the mutation. And teeth factor is much not important here. But heart may be affected, kidney may be affected, only lungs may not be affected. Upper respiratory tract infection may cause. This is an area where is a upper respiratory tract infection. Sinusitis, here is the sinusitis. Look here, sinuses are not the opening of the nose. These are external layers. These are internal layers. You are watching here. If I show you again. These are external layers. These are internal layers, and these are facial bones. And these bones are not continuous. There are the gaps between the facial bones. Those gaps are called sinuses. Infection of the sinuses is called sinusitis. And smoking may cause the sinusitis as well. So therefore, we have to prevent ourselves from the smoking. I hope you will market this, not only to get the marks, also to prevent the health of yourself and your family members and your friends. Thank you very much.